welcome back to the channel. It is Friday night and I am so looking forward to just a cozy night in. I have the house to myself this evening, so my plan is to head out, get a couple of groceries, make a really nice tasty dinner. Maybe we're going to do a little bit of book journaling, and we're definitely going to watch some kind of guilty pleasure TV show. If you're new to the channel, my name's Grace. I am a Canadian currently living in Dublin, Ireland. I like to make very cozy, comfort style YouTube videos. I live in a very small, realistic apartment, and essentially I just like to document life in my 30s and share it with you guys. If any of that sounds good to you, I would love if you'd subscribe. But first things first, on our to-do list this evening is to check to see what's in the fridge so I know what I need to get from the shops. Okay, so I have some lamb burgers, so I thought it would be fun to do a bit of like a Greek style dinner. So I'll have the lamb burgers, some rice, Greek salad. I'm planning on making some tzatziki. I need all the stuff for Greek salad, so cucumber, tomatoes. Do I have red onion? Yeah, do I? Yes. I have red onion and Kalamata olives already. Oh, I need a green pepper and some stuff for the tzatziki. Anyways, let's go to the shops. Okay, time for a quick grocery haul. I went to 3 different grocery stores. Did I need to go to 3 different grocery stores? No. Did I want to? Absolutely yes. I'm one of those people that absolutely loves grocery shopping. And where I live, I have access to more than 4 grocery stores within like a 3-minute walk maybe from my house. So I like to go and check them all out, especially because the grocery stores each kind of do like a Super 6 or discounted items, and they pick like a combination of items each week sort of thing. So I wanted to check out to see, if anything that was on my list was discounted anywhere, and it was. So the last place I went was Aldi, and I got this Spanish tortilla. So that'll actually be for breakfast, maybe tomorrow or something like that. Spanish tortilla for me is really fun. You can eat it hot or cold. It's gluten-free. Absolutely buzzing. I think this was €3. And then the other thing I got from Aldi was those flowers, and I'll put those up soon and you guys can see. So went to Lidl. Got these as a little treat. They're just, like dark chocolate and almond. They're pre-wrapped, they're individually wrapped. So these are handy to actually stick in your purse or your bag or whatever, so you can have a little sweet treat on the go. 2 cucumbers from Lidl, because these things were on for the Super 6, like I mentioned. I think they were 49 cents each. Bargain. I got this cheese from Lidl as well, so I'm going to have this as a snack pretty soon before I have my dinner. Cool thing about Lidl is that they always have like a theme, kind of. So right now their theme is France, so they have different kind of like French foods. That's why I got this cheese, and it was hilarious. They actually have like an Emily in Paris themed foods right now. Recently they had all Greek items. That was really fun. So anyways, I like to go into Lidl every once in a while to check those things out. Aldi is like my go-to shop for everything else and everything all the time, to be honest, but Lidl is fun for those, random bits. And like I said, sometimes for sales. Everything else I got from Tesco. I don't go to Tesco as much. Like I said, I normally go to Aldi now, but Tesco has more herbs. I needed fresh herbs. And again, I just fancied going to Tesco. So from Tesco, dill, mint, I need those for the tzatziki, fancy tomatoes for the Greek salad, couple of peppers. I ended up getting some red onion because we are low on red onion, and it was on the Super 6 in Tesco. So I think it was 69 cents for this bag of red onions. Some honey. And some yogurt. So yeah, that's everything. I think what I want to do now is make a fun drink. I have a little bit of a sore throat, so I'm not going to drink any wine or anything like that tonight. But I think what I'm going to do is like a hibiscus iced tea. I made some hibiscus tea the other day and stuck it in the fridge. So yeah, I'm going to have that with maybe a little bit of sparkling water to make it even more fun. A little snack while we're reading, or maybe I'll work on my book journal, and then we'll cook dinner.
We can do better. We could be chasing dreams. We know what's right, and we know how it feels. Yeah, we can do better. We can make a change for real. Yeah, we can do a lot better. We can be facing fears. We know what's up, and we know how to get there. Yeah, we can be stars. We can be the best. Just put us to the test and we'll show the world there's another way. If we just try a little every day, we can make it better.
Delicious snack. I got those breadsticks from Spain when we were in Ibiza ages ago. I've been saving them for the right time, and I feel like tonight is it. Very, very nice. And that cheese actually is delicious. It's got good flavor, but it's not too overpowering. You know, sometimes like the funky cheeses can be really strong. I think it's like the perfect balance. This hibiscus iced tea actually turned out super nice as well. I brewed hibiscus leaves for quite a while and like made sure that it was really concentrated, so when I dilute it with sparkling water you can still get the flavor. Hibiscus by itself is super tart. Like I was drinking it, I was like, oh my god, it's so tart. So I actually did sweeten this with some honey, but I used honey water. So essentially what I did was take some honey and then just put in a teeny bit of hot water to make sure that it's like completely diluted and then mixes well, and I combine that, and yeah, this tastes great. Recently finished The Vegetarian by Han Kang, and yeah, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. The writing is incredible in my opinion, and it was a wild ride. The book is set in South Korea, and it's about a woman who has a dream and becomes a vegetarian, and essentially we're seeing her from her family's perspective. So the opening section is from her husband's perspective, and then there's a different family member. And a different family member, we never actually see things completely from her perspective. We're seeing how other people are reacting to her and these circumstances. It's interesting because eating meat is like, you know, an important part of culture in South Korea. So it was a really big deal for her to become vegetarian. And then, you know, so the family is very upset about that and kind of having an intervention, and people don't understand her. And it raises the question of how important is it to be true to yourself and your convictions versus how important it is to be accepted by society and by friends and family, etc., etc. I thought the book was amazing. I thought the writing was really, really good. Some people I know think that the book's a little bit too weird, maybe too extreme. If you're the kind of person that really likes the resolve at the end of the book, maybe this isn't for you. It's a short read though. It's one of those you could give it a go and just see what you think. The interesting thing about the author is that she won the Nobel Prize for Literature last year. I believe she is the first South Korean to win the Nobel Prize for Literature. Anyway, so it's a big deal. This is the first book I've read by her, but after reading it, I'm very interested to read more. So, yeah. Because I just recently finished that, I am trying to fill in what I thought in my reading journal. So that's what I'm going to do right now. There's some amazing quotes in here. I thought the way that she portrayed the main character's husband was wild. And I think it's one of those things too, if you're reading it, maybe you would find it very upsetting because of how the husband was looking at his wife, but I think it's her acknowledgement of this man, first of all, and his shortcomings, and then perhaps like shortcomings within society in general. One of the lines that I underlined was, for some unfathomable reason, reading was something she was able to really immerse herself in. Reading books that looked so dull, I couldn't even bring myself so much to take a look inside the covers. He was so judgmental of her with that kind of stuff. Like, he just thought that she was so ordinary and so dull and didn't understand what she was into. And I just thought that line said way more about him than it actually says about her. The first opening line. Before my wife turned vegetarian, I'd always thought of her as completely unremarkable in every way. To be frank, the first time I met her, I wasn't even attracted to her. Middling height, bobbed hair, neither long nor short, jaundiced, sickly-looking skin, somewhat prominent cheekbones. Her timid, sallow aspect told me all I needed to know. As she came up to the table where I was waiting, I couldn't help but notice her shoes, the plainest black shoes imaginable. And that walk of hers, neither fast nor slow, striding or menacing. However, if there wasn't any special attraction, nor did any particular drawbacks present themselves, and therefore there was no reason for the two of us to not get married. The passive personality of this woman, in whom I could detect neither freshness nor charm, or anything especially refined, suited me down to the ground. It's like, all right, pal, this is interesting. Very, very interesting, but not for the faint-hearted. It's a very literary book, so just do some research before you read it. So, because, I don't want you wasting your time if you're really not going to like it. Maybe you'll love it, maybe you won't. I don't know. I really liked it. Before we get into making dinner, I need to put these flowers out. I've been dying to get peonies. I guess they're in season because they're everywhere in the shops right now. This is only a small bouquet, but I mean, it was €5, so I'm happy with that. What is your favorite kind of flower? Now, tulips are very popular. Tulips are nice. I think peonies are beautiful. I don't have a favorite flower, to be honest. I pretty much like them all, I think. My most recent bouquet was Sweet Williams. They have they remind me of pansies, but they're very dense. Anyways, I thought it lasted pretty well, and I really liked them. I thought they were very sweet, as is the name. Best vase for this, but I definitely have one vase household. More than that.
Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden things.
So I'm gonna stick the burgers in the oven. Well, actually, first the oven's warming up, so I'm gonna put the rice on because that'll probably take about 20 minutes as well. And then when the oven's warmed up, put the burgers in, and then while the burgers and the rice are both cooking, I'll make the Greek salad and the tzatziki.
I'll follow only golden, golden, golden. hair, gold rings, gold rings.
Have you been watching any good shows lately? For like easy kind of background shows, you know, when we're eating dinner or whatever, we've been watching Taskmaster, which is an English game show. I don't know if we have it in Canada or if you have it in America, but it's on the Irish Netflix, probably on the English Netflix as well, like the UK Netflix. And it's a show with different celebrities. Each season has different contestants, which are celebrities, typically comedians. The Taskmaster and his sidekick, essentially. So the Taskmaster is also a comedian and an actor, and then the guy who's a sidekick, it's actually his show. He's the one that came up with the concept and everything. Essentially, you get these celebrities, there's 5 of them, who do these really obscure, ridiculous tasks. And it definitely shows certain levels of intelligence, but it's very entertaining and funny and lighthearted, all the things. So we enjoy watching that. But the shows that I'm going to watch this evening, there's 2 of them. So I've been watching Euphoria, which I think is really impressive. Like, I think it's really good. I was too scared to watch Euphoria because anytime I saw clips, I was like, oh my gosh, this looks wild. Like, I'm not sure I'm up for it, you know? But then since I'm watching it, yes, it is indeed wild, but it's also really good. Like, I think the creator of the show did a beautiful job artistic wise. The music is really good. And I also think the topics are very, like, they're very serious, but it's also important to kind of know what's going on and not just stick your head in the sand, right? So it's like Gen Z in high school, essentially, and what are they dealing with? And I think, of course, they're going more extreme for entertainment values. It is an HBO show, but it's crazy. Like, the stuff that they have to deal with versus what I had to deal with when I was in high school. Like, thank God smartphones weren't a thing when I was in high school. So I didn't have to deal with that whole digital world, digital bullying, you know, getting yourself into trouble in the online world. There's just so much to unpack. And it's, crazy thing that they have to deal with that my generation didn't have to deal with. You probably already know a little bit about it, but essentially, like, it is following a drug addict and then all these other teenage, you know, high school students, what they're going through. They're going through some crazy stuff. Definitely look into it before you watch it, but I'd be curious to know if you have watched it and what you thought. And the other show that I might test out tonight is, what is it, Mom Talk? Yeah, I think it's just called Mom Talk, right? Or no, Mom Talk is what they do. Oh, the Mormons, Real Mormon Housewives. I don't actually know what the show's called, but it's about Mormon housewives that have started, that like got really popular and famous on TikTok, and it just looks wild. Like, this is a reality TV show, and it's totally, you know, self-indulgent, terrible television. But sometimes it can be a little bit fun to watch something that's mind-numbing, you know? So anyways, I think I'm going to stick that on while I'm cooking, because that, I feel like, is a show I really don't need to pay that much attention to. Whereas Euphoria, I don't want to miss a moment. So yeah, let me know if you've watched that Mom Talk show. What do you think about it?
I'm excited to have another life into the bed.
This is honestly everything I've ever wanted. I just never thought it was possible. Not only that, I love your dog. I love her. I have a lot.
I'm sorry for the times I forget what it was like living life like a silhouette, tracing the lines and ignore what's inside till you came into my life. Sometimes I see it all so clear.
I was pretty much finished everything. I just had to put the Kalamata olives in the salad. Looked everywhere, can't find the Kalamata olives. So then I went to the closest shop, Aldi. Sold out. Lil didn't have any, so I had to trek back to Tesco just to get the Kalamata olives. When it comes to Greek salad, I don't like to skimp on any of the ingredients. There's so few ingredients, you gotta like make sure you get what you need. Oh my goodness. So now it's late. I'm just finishing getting dinner together, but oh well, that's okay. I don't have anything I have to do tomorrow in particular, so it's okay if it's a little bit late tonight. What do you guys like to eat in the summer? What's your go-to meal or meals? It's gotten pretty warm here, actually. Today is warm anyways. And our apartment is quite warm. We get a lot of sun in it, which is lovely, but then yeah, in the summer it gets pretty hot. So I try to, you know, like we kind of crave lighter, fresh, crunchy, hydrating food.
I couldn't help but laugh. Thought I was the only one wondering.
Dinner's finally ready. Looks good. So I've been watching that Housewives, Mormons, what is it called? The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. It is too crazy, guys. It is an absolute, I don't even know, crazy. I don't normally watch reality TV. It's like a train wreck, you know, where you just can't help but watch, but it is mental. I'm going to enjoy my food now, watch something. I think I'm going to watch Euphoria. I'd love for you guys to share in the comments what your ideal Friday night is. Do you like a cozy night at home? A solo night at home? Or are you more of like a, you know, social, like to get out there and see people sort of thing? I like to do that occasionally, but to be honest, Friday night's my night that I like to stay home, and then I can be social on other nights, if that makes sense. I don't know, there's something nice about staying home on a Friday night, for me anyways.